Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our event today. It is wonderful to have you here. I am Walt Hampton. I am the founder and chief executive officer of Summit Success International, a personal and professional development firm. And I'm really looking forward to our time here together today. So thank you for registering. Thank you for joining us. And today I am going to share with you how you can make $35,000 a month using the knowledge and experience that you already have. And that may sound like hyperbole. It may sound like internet hype. I'm actually going to do the mathematics with you and for you before we're done today. But it's not just about the money. If you're here, I suspect that while having a good income is important to you, it's probably not the only thing that matters. It's certainly not the thing that matters most to us in our own business. It's not what matters most to us in our lives. It's really about creating a rich, full, deep, balanced, deeply satisfying life. And so while the money outcome is good, I am really all about helping you create a life you love that is filled with time freedom and location freedom and financial freedom and the ability to have options and choices that give you the peace of mind and the ability to do for yourself, for those you love, for those that you care about, all of that thing that a great work provides for you. Another way of saying this is that we're all about creating work that gives you a great life rather than simply trying to work to live, which is what so many of us do and have done up until now. So if you're here, I imagine, and not just imagine, but I actually have looked at the registration list, that some of you are in education or have been in education. Usually, and today is no exception, I see some of my colleagues in the legal profession, folks from allied health, hospitality. We get a lot of folks in our world from the hospitality industry that suffered a lot of stress and tumult during the very difficult pandemic years. Folks from entertainment, IT, compliance. Folks who have been in compliance are often folks who gravitate toward this program, and construction, and lots of other backgrounds. And oftentimes, folks who come to us are already pretty successful. And some of them come with a little bit of trepidation or unsureness because they are successful and they feel almost a little bit chagrined that they ought to be looking for more, or they want to be looking for more. Maybe you're struggling. You're in an industry that has suffered layoffs. There's a lot of turnover, like there has been in hospitality. Maybe you're just restless or bored. One of the things I've discovered after 16 or 17 years of doing this work is that even when you're really, really successful, even when you have the tools and toys and outward indices of success, after about 12 to 15 years, it's really easy to fall into a sense of restlessness and boredom. And many people come to our doorstep with this sense that there's something more that they're supposed to do, something more they want to do, something more they feel they're supposed to do. Sometimes it is, I feel like I'm called to do something more, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. And there's this sense of unease, dis-ease, that thing that wakes some of our clients up in the middle of the night and says, yeah, there's something else. Life's too short. I know there's something else that I'm supposed to do. So if any of this resonates for you, friends, please know that you are in the right place and you're definitely not alone. And maybe, in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day, you've wondered, could I do something else? Could I do it without going back and getting more training or certification or degrees? Could I do a business online? Could I take what I know and do it in a way that doesn't require a commute or a hermetically sealed office? And can I do it in a way without risking what I have? And that last one is often a big one for folks. Again, if you've been out in the working world for a while, you've accumulated some savings, perhaps some retirement, you have what I refer to, or what folks in the market refer to as, a lot of sunk costs in what you've already done. You've invested a lot in what you've already done, and you've built up collateral assets around what you've already done. You've got experience around what you've already done. And a lot of times it's like, oh, it's too late to do something else. And anyway, I don't want to risk my 401k. I don't want to risk my savings. I don't want to put my family at risk or my loved ones at risk. If you're wondering this, know also that you're in the right place, because it's possible to take the background and experience that you already have, to take that and to repackage it and pivot it into work and life that you really, really love, that brings you prosperity, freedom, and joy. So yes, I'm going to show you how to make $35,000 a month using that knowledge you already have. But I also want you to think about the life that you can create by taking what you already have and repurposing it in a way that lights you up, so that every single day you're excited about what you get to do. And friends, the opportunity right now is extraordinary for exactly what we're going to talk about today. The global consulting business is a $250 billion industry, and it's growing by double digits year over year over year, even through the bleak years of the pandemic, perhaps even especially through those years, and continues to grow. The online education space is an extraordinary space to be in right now. And that's a $238 billion industry, and it's going to have 10%, 15% growth over the next decade. So, these online types of courses, this program I'm teaching today is an example of an online program. And it's an online program format that people can take out in the world and actually use and sell to their potential clients. And coaching is a $2 billion industry and growing year over year over year. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we label the thing that you might do, but the label is really less important right now. Is it a consultancy? Is it coaching? Is it some type of gig work or side hustle? Or, do you independently hang out your shingle, to use an old term? Doesn't matter right now. What I want to focus on is that capacity that you have, to take the background and experience that you already have and to use it to create something that will light you up, set you free, and make you money. So the opportunity right now is extraordinary. There's a lot of money out in these industries, and wouldn't it be nice to have just a small piece of that? And I am here to tell you that you can. So let's get started and dig in, because I want to honor your time, because if you're here, I know you're a busy professional, and your time is valuable, and I want to deliver a lot of high value today so that you're walking away with some strategies, tools, and a roadmap that will allow you to move forward in your thinking. I'm not selling anything today on this webinar. I am going to share with you the formula that we walk our clients through, and give you an idea of what that looks like. If it appeals to you and you want to connect and talk that through, I'm going to let you know how you can do that. But I'm not selling or pitching anything today, other than to pitch the idea that if you're in a day job and you've got background and experience of just about any kind, we can use that. We can harness it to create something extraordinary. So I looked at the list before the webinar. About a quarter of the folks who are here are folks who know me already, and welcome back. Welcome to the webinar. I'm so happy to have you. About 3/4 of you are new to our world, and welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, and so happy that you joined us here today, and hope that you'll stay part of our community. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is actually hard-won information. I came out of Cornell Law School in 1984. I loved law school. I became an associate at a big firm, and later a managing partner at a litigation firm. And while I loved law school, loved law school, the thinking, the ideation, the strategy, the negotiation, the moot court, all of that, I found almost immediately that life as a lawyer wasn't really a right fit for me. In fact, over time, it rather sucked my soul. Sometimes when I'm describing it, it's like that Harry Potter character, the Dementor, that kind of just sucks the life out of you over time. The problem, of course, and this may resonate for some of you, is that I was really good at it. I had a very successful firm. I made a lot of money, and yet it didn't light me up. And over a very interesting set of circumstances, I had the opportunity to meet Tony Robbins. I was invited into Tony Robbins's world, and I ended up training and certifying as one of Tony's elite level certified results coaches. I was one of 70 worldwide at the time. And I loved coaching. I loved the collaborative nature of it. I loved that I got to take my background as a lawyer, thinking, strategizing, ideating, planning, all of those tools that a trial lawyer uses, listening, engaging, all of those tools I got to use in a co-creative, collaborative way as a coach and as a consultant. I later went on and became an elite level certified Book Yourself Solid coach, and spent 2 years as president and chief operating officer of Book Yourself Solid worldwide, where I trained and certified hundreds of coaches, business coaches around the world. I'm the best-selling author of 2 books, Journeys on the Edge, Living a Life That Matters, and Time Mastery, The Power Principles of Time Mastery, Do Less, Make More, Have Fun, something that I really like and want to invite you to embrace if you're going to pivot and create something new, fun. Back in 2007, we founded this company, Summit Success International, where we get to help amazing professionals from all around the world grow and scale businesses that set them free. And I am the creator of the Consultant Success Formula. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. And the core of my work is the executive coaching that where I have the privilege of guiding people to create these amazing new businesses that they love. So let's dive in. I'm going to share with you 4 keys today to get you started and get you working on this path to creating something that you love based upon the experience that you already have. So key number 1 is if you're going to create something new, a new business, and let's call it, I don't know, we'll call it a consulting business, or we could call it a coaching business, or put it whatever label you want on it, because it doesn't really matter. Everything out in the world is about problem and solution. If you have a toothache, you have a problem, you go to the dentist for a solution. If your car doesn't start, you have a problem, you take it to the repair shop for a solution. If you have a financial problem, you take it to your accountant or your advisor or wealth manager for a solution. If you have a legal challenge, you go to the lawyer. Everything is problem and solution. And so regardless of what you label, whatever it is you already do or want to do, it's about ideating around problem and solution. And dare I say that whatever you're doing right now already involves problem and solution. So, it could be around planning and productivity. It could be like one of our most recent clients around regulatory compliance. It could be in a HR capacity or in leadership, recruiting and retaining great talent. Or it could be like one of our clients that's in our community right now around leadership and team building, or it could be growing an accounting firm or helping athletes perform better. So these are areas that perhaps some of you are already in, or maybe this list begins to spark some interest in things that you know how to do that don't necessarily fall within your existing job description. So this is one of our amazing members of our community, Jamie Schreier. And these are all real people that you can go out and Google and see the work that they're doing. Jamie had a very successful physical therapy practice business, like hugely successful. And he got to that point where he was just a little tired of the day in and day out of it. He still loved the industry, but what he did was he pivoted and stepped out and took his knowledge and experience, and now he helps physical therapy practice owners build their practices and make more money. And he's got amazing time freedom and location freedom, and he gets to serve a lot more people at a bigger scale without that time for money trade or dealing with third-party payers and all of the stuff that goes along with health and allied health. 𝗏𝗏, one of an amazing member of our community. He was a construction lawyer in a big a multidisciplinary law firm. And now he's out in the world. He had experience as a managing partner. He had experience on various boards. He knows a lot about leadership. He's doing leadership training and consulting now. In fact, just recently he rolled out a brand new program that he created around emotional intelligence for leaders. Emotional intelligence, EQ, the one thing that can be taught, the single biggest index of success, indicator of success. And Carl is no longer tied to the 6-minute increment, the billable hour, the huge demands of a law firm, the huge demands of trial work and trial advocacy. And now he's doing leadership training for organizations, and it lights him up and gives him a lot of joy. And so the invitation that I want to extend to you is, what problem can you already solve? Perhaps it's a problem that you're already doing in your business. So Jamie, for example, knew how to grow and scale a physical therapy practice because he was living it. Carl, on the other hand, was doing litigation, but he had an innate sense and a lived sense that he could help leaders become better leaders because he saw what worked in leadership. He saw what worked when he was in a leadership position, when he was on boards. So he had this innate felt sense that he could step into helping leaders become stronger. We had a client not long ago who was in the hospitality business. And of course, as I said, that business is very much in flux. Happily, it's coming back now. But at the particular point in time, hospitality wasn't a terribly viable step for her. But she did know a lot about homeschooling because she had homeschooled amazing kids. And so she had the capacity to create the structure for a homeschooling education program. How to homeschool well. It could be, as one of our colleagues who has an amazing business around knitting, it could be a hobby that you have experience in. And our colleague who is in the knitting universe actually runs $1 million business doing something that she really, really, really likes. So the problem that you solve, the thing you help people do, could be related to your business that you're doing right now, or it could be related to an avocation or a hobby or something that you simply know really well and could step into that role to help others solve their problem. So this first key is, if you can solve a problem for somebody, if you have that solution, you actually have the framework for taking the knowledge, whether the knowledge from your existing work or the knowledge from some area of your life, and creating something that will give you wealth and freedom. Key number 2. This is really important, friends. So I want to just spend a little bit of time anchoring this. Many times when folks come to us and they say, I know you help people pivot into new things, and I've got this idea. I want to be a consultant and I want to help people succeed. Great. That's pretty fuzzy. There's an interesting paradox, and the paradox is what we refer to as the entrepreneurial paradox, which is to say that narrow is power. Let me make this very specific for you. Let's say that, God forbid, you get off this masterclass and your sister or sister-in-law calls you and says, oh my God, I'm so upset. I just got a call from the school and my son, your nephew, has collapsed out on the soccer field, on the soccer pitch, on the baseball field, whatever it is. And they've taken him to the hospital, and it looks like he has some type of like stenosis, some type of narrowing that happened that was there since his birth. And we need a cardiologist. And I'm like, I'm beside myself. Will you help me? And you agree to help your sister or sister-in-law, and you go out and you start searching out in the world for potential people to help you. And you come across a general cardiologist who's got a great reputation. You come across a cardiologist who does some interventional work, who's on the faculty of a local medical school. Again, amazing reputation. And then you come across this cardiologist, and let's just say she's been in practice for 12 years. She's had a great fellowship, and she's written some articles, but she's got this specialty around helping young sons and daughters, young people who have congenital aortic stenosis. Of those three, all else being equal, who do you pick? Yes, you go narrow, you go for the specialist. We do it every single time. And yet the mistake that a lot of people make when they're thinking about creating something of their own is they go out in the world and like, I just want to help people. I want to suggest to you this idea is narrow is power, that this entrepreneurial paradox is key. And narrow is power, even if, dear friends, it's a little bit weird. Like our colleague 𝗓𝗔𝗓. 𝗓𝗓𝗓 runs this extraordinary business. He makes a lot of money, like in excess of $1 million a year. And his marketplace is herbalism, evolutionary herbalism, herbs grown in soil that is perfect under astrological signs. And he's deeply steeped in this very narrow niche of evolutionary herbalism, and he's super successful. Or our friend and former client, Maria Granovsky. Maria was, well, she's a brainiac. She has, I think, 2 PhDs. She was a patent lawyer, and that we gravitated toward each other because, like me, law kind of sucked her soul, and it wore her out. Her love was writing. And she's a great writer in a lot of different ways, fiction, nonfiction. She's a really, really good writer. But when she built her consultancy, she narrowly targeted to a market that she knew, which was lawyers. And while lawyers can write great briefs and great arguments, they are not terribly good when it comes to marketing copy, Maria created an amazing niche, a narrow focus on writing marketing copy for lawyers and law firms. Narrow is power. So the question that I'm putting out for you today is, what's that thing that you really love doing? And who would you really like doing it with? I really like working with mid-career professionals who've got a lot of background and experience. I love studying and working and co-conspiring and understanding all of those little threads that might be the basis for an extraordinary business, extracting that and then building that. It could be like our colleague and friend, 𝗪𝗓. 𝗪𝗓 was this amazing entrepreneur, but she had a passion for white cake. She began her first business selling the perfect white cake recipe. She had an initial launch in excess of $400,000 with white cake. What's the thing that you really like doing, and who do you like doing it with? My invitation in the second key is to embrace the entrepreneurial paradox and see that narrow is power. Key number 3. A lot of people who come out of professions, a lot of people who come out of education or hospitality, they get caught up with this. They get a little bit wigged out with, okay, if I have my own thing, if I don't have the safety of the paycheck anymore, I'm not going to know how to get clients. Well, in our consultant success formula, we teach marketing, and we teach all sorts of marketing and really effective marketing. And we have a deep bench in the digital marketing world. But my invitation to you at this juncture, as you're ideating around what you might create, is that marketing at its core isn't complicated. And it really is something that you already know how to do. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Period. Full stop. I don't care whether we're dealing with a Fortune 500 or Fortune 100, Fortune 50 company. People do business with people. I had a banking relationship, and my personal banker was Josh. Josh left the bank. Guess what? I left the bank and went where Josh went. And then Josh left that bank. And guess what? I left that bank and went where Josh went, because my relationship was more important than the institution. People do business with people. And so creating, nurturing, and sustaining relationships is something I bet you have a fairly deep bench with. Marketing is taking that innate ability to connect and form relationship and doing it mindfully, intentionally, and this one is most important, consistently. That we do our relationship nurture every single day. And we do it in a way that encourages and invites people to either work with us or to refer people to us. But that consistency, we teach a system around doing this, but it's not salesy, it's not spammy, it's not out of congruity or out of integrity. It's really focused on the core of relationship. And I say this probably 3 times a day, and certainly dozens and dozens of times a week to clients and to our own team. The rules of relationship are not suspended in the digital world. If you've been out on LinkedIn, you know that most people don't abide by this. You connect with somebody and immediately they turn around and say, buy my stuff. You reach out and you form a connection, or they say, hey, I'd really like to add you to my network. And you say, sure, you add them. And all of a sudden you're getting like sold something. We don't do that at a chamber of commerce or a Rotary networking event. We actually think about people in relationship. And so we connect, we engage, we have coffee, we share with one another, we give to one another. Bob Berg has that wonderful book called The Go-Giver. And Zig Ziglar said, you'll get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want in life. And so we go out in the world and we add value and share with other people. And then when the time is right, when it is organically the right time, we invite them. We invite them into our world. We invite them to connect with us at a deeper level. We invite them to enroll or a product or program with us. Or maybe they're a strategic partner or potential strategic partner, and we invite them to refer people to us. And yes, so we want to cultivate those referral and strategic relationships too. We teach a very particular referral strategy called the who do your people see before they see you strategy, where we teach our clients to go deep on the other consultants, professionals, strategic partners who see your potential clients in the ordinary course of their business and create these cross-referral relationships that work in a very solid way. And so a question that you could hold right now for yourselves is, if I'm thinking about a business around leadership training, for example, or if I'm thinking about creating a business around helping people improve their golf swings, or if I'm thinking about creating a business around health and wellness, who do you imagine your prospective clients see before they see you? And that question alone is a question that is sufficient, if you act on it, to begin the marketing process for the business that you want to grow. This is at the core of all marketing, coming from that place of service. So many people go out in the world and they're trying to sell you. I don't know about you, but I am really tired of the internet noise of always being sold to. It does not feel good to be sold to. No one likes that, and yet it is endemic in the marketplace. If you can embrace the butler's mantra, how may I be of service to you? As I said, that that beautiful Zig Ziglar phrase, you will get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. If you come from that place, and if you can embrace that place, you know just about everything you could possibly ever know about marketing. Yes, lots of tools and strategies that we can teach you, cool internet stuff to expand your reach. Some of you came into our world today by virtue of some of those cool strategies. But really at its heart, marketing is about connecting and serving. And therefore, business is really quite simple. So key number 4 is the fourth of our 4 keys, and it's about having a system. So I alluded to the fact that I came out of law and created this business now called Summit Success International, and I had no clue. I did know that there were some basic tools that you needed. And these, friends, are the 3 basic tools that you need. You could really start as basic as this. When I first started my law firm back in the day, the single biggest expense other than malpractice insurance was a library. You know, like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on a law library. You need to take the background and experience that you already have and create something that you love. The infrastructure is very, very low. And if you're going to create something virtual, it's your overhead is extremely low. My law firm probably ran at 50% of gross, 40% of gross, meaning probably 60% of our income went to maintaining the thing. You can run very, very, very lean, like 85 or 90% of what you make, you will keep in this industry. You'll also need some other basic tools, like ways to communicate with people. You guys all came in through a landing page today where you clicked a button to sign up, some way to communicate and remind your people about stuff that's coming up. But these basic tools are very, very inexpensive as well. So the tools, those are pretty straightforward. What I didn't have when I started out is any type of idea that there was a formula or a structure to things. In fact, marketing seemed like a huge black box to me. Business building seemed like a huge black box to me. I created a successful law firm, but I really just kind of failed forward into it. And I did it inartfully and without any kind of method or madness to it. I just began to throw stuff at the wall. It took me a long, long time, and I made a lot of mistakes in it. And I thought that I could take those same skills and roll them into building a consulting and coaching business, which is Summit Success today. But I struggled. And we were building this business into the teeth of the Great Recession in 2007, 2008. And we had 2 kids in private colleges. We had an underperforming office building. We had big mortgages, big tuitions. And it was a little bit of a scary time to be out there wandering around. Here's the truth. Business success is not random or haphazard or a matter of birthright or a matter of luck, which is what a lot of people wander into business thinking. This Jim Rohn quote so lands for me. Success, a successful business is about consistently, remember there's that word again, consistently applying the basic fundamentals. And there are some basic fundamentals that are repeatable, and they're proven, and they're reliable, and they will give you clients. There is, in fact, friends, a roadmap. And about 7 or 8 years ago, I reverse engineered from all of the mistakes that we made and recreated that roadmap. It's also, it's called the Consultant's Success Formula. And we've been doing the Consultant Success Formula, as I said, for about 7 or 8 years. And I'll share with you some of the successes that we've had with it. But it's everything that anyone would ever need, and it's all in one place. One of the things that drives me crazy is going out on the interweb and seeing, if you buy this one formula for LinkedIn, you're going to be an overnight success. Or if you buy this one webinar strategy, you're going to be an overnight success. Or there are all these divergent tools and tips and programs and strategies and bots. And now with the rise of AI, all of that confusion in the marketplace, I decided I didn't want people to have to go out in the world and look for it and wonder, do I need this or I don't need that? Or we've created the Consultant Success Formula. So if somebody is pivoting from the legal profession or physical therapy or education or and even if they don't know exactly what they want to do yet, everything that anyone could ever need is in one place. And you can wake up every single day along the business building pathway, knowing exactly what to do and when to do it. And when I say everything, we cover everything, like how to create your business, how to get the messaging down, like how to position yourself in that narrow place, how to set up your value proposition, how to price your offerings, how to go out and build your LinkedIn profile and your website, how to position yourself out in the world as an expert authority. You don't have to be the expert, but we can help you position yourselves as an expert. We unpack the confusion of social media. We teach a sales conversation that's super smooth and in integrity and has a very high close rate. We teach you to do webinars and product launches, webinars just like this. We have a repository with all of the tools and templates and contracts and agreements that you could ever need. And as I've said a couple of times, we have a deep bench in the marketing world, all the marketing tools and techniques that you could ever want. In 90 days, and these, I'm gonna share a couple of examples in a minute. Many of our clients have enough to go out in the world and begin to get clients and to begin to make money. The program is a 6-month program, and there is zero risk, friends, because if it's not the right fit, we only want to work with folks for whom the fit is right. I tell our prospective clients, our success as a company is only as a result of the success that our clients have. Now, here's the math. I just want to show you. We're talking about the potential, and this is a conservative example. Let's just say that you pivoted and we helped you, or you on your own were to go out and get 7 clients and they were to pay you $5,000 a month. You would have $35,000 a month. Let's just say for a moment, friends, that you had 3 $15,000 consulting gigs in a month, just 3. That's $45,000. Let's just say that you had 14. A number of my coaching clients have about 14 clients, and the low end is $2,500 a month. We're still at $35,000 a month. So this number is not a pie in the sky number. Do many people start a lot less than this? Yes, absolutely. I have built 5 successful businesses from scratch. And every single business that we have built has required time and a dirty 4-letter word called work. And that's not sexy. It's not what the internet speaks to, but it's the truth. And the truth is we all start with 0 and we have to build from there. But what I know for sure is that using a roadmap, using a system gives you the capacity to recreate what you are making or have been making or aspire to make. And it's not pie in the sky, and it's not a huge number of clients that you've got to create. It's possible to take your background and experience and enjoy a nice revenue stream and all of those other things that come with it. Sometimes if you're on this webinar, maybe you have that day gig, that day job, and I'm watching our time, and I know you probably need to get back to it soon, so I'm not going to be too much longer. But I'm very aware that when you look at your life, you're thinking, well, I don't want to jump out of my day job, and I don't have a whole lot of time. And by the way, I wouldn't tell you to jump out of your day job. That old internet meme, jump and the net will appear, in my humble opinion, is BS. My experience is people who jump without a net end up dead on the sidewalk. Not a good thing. I don't recommend that you walk away tomorrow from a job, even if it sucks your soul. But I do have a way to make it a whole lot easier. We have a program that is called the Power Principles of Time Mastery. It's a $2,000 program. I roll it into the Consultant Success Formula and teach you how to recover 20 hours a week so that you can actually build this work that will set you free. And to help you get there faster, we have something called office hours. I'm an academic at heart. I love school. I loved university. And the whole professorial notion of office hours, hanging out, having erudite conversations. I've recreated this every other week. My coaches and I get together with our community, our students in the Consultant Success Formula. We have freewheeling questions and answers. We wrestle challenges to the ground. We share wins. I'm there. My coaches are there. So there's a lot of live coaching that happens to help you get to your destination faster. And to encourage you to take the next step, anyone who comes in as a result of our time together, I will spend one-on-one time with you. I am just passionate. Way too many people, they tell themselves the story that they're going to get to the thing that makes them happy someday, and someday never comes. Oliver Wendell Holmes has that wonderful and somewhat melancholy quote that says, "Many people die with their music still in them." And I don't want that to be you. There's no reason to live in a sense that there's more without answering that call. If you think there's more, there's more. So at this point, you can do 3 things. You can keep on doing what you're doing, and that's fine. And you can try it on your own, and that's fine too. I did that. I wasn't terribly artful on it. I probably wasted several $100,000s trying it on my own. Or we can guide you step by step. We have folks like Denise. Denise runs a wonderful business helping coaches and consultants with their automation. Denise was one of our founding members of the Consultant Success Formula. And if you were to join us, you'd still see her from time to time at office hours. She likes to stop in. Lifetime access, by the way, to the Consultant Success Formula. Folks like Maria, who created the business with copywriting for lawyers, an amazing business that she loves, an amazing example of someone who wasn't lit up with the work she had done, even though she was highly educated, highly successful, multiple degreed. Maria knew that there was a way that she could be happy and make money too. Kristina 𝗏𝗏 is still in our Consulting Success Formula. She went from nearly no background and experience in business. She was a dental hygienist. And for those of you who may wander or have wandered onto our main consultantsuccessformula.com page, we'll find a full interview that Kristina and I had not long ago. Kristina has cracked six figures. She pivoted from dental hygienist into helping endurance athletes. She's a runner and an athlete. She took her passion, her commitment, her interest in wellness and well-being and running, and she has built an extraordinary business, a really successful business, doing something that lights her up every single day. And Roland, it's hard. Roland was in the physical therapy business. Roland pivoted completely into helping mortgage brokers. And I don't know, it's a pretty tough market right now with mortgage brokers because, interest rates being what they are. But Roland took his background and experience, created an amazing personal branding program, and rolled out a branding program, launched the program, and brought in $250,000. And Roland didn't even have any experience in the mortgage industry before he began to work the consultant success formula. So I'm going to finish up, but before I do, let me just invite you to imagine waking up every single day excited about what you get to do. There was a time, friends, when I would get to Sunday evening and I would be anxious and I would be agitated and sometimes even upset, thinking about going back into the adversarial work that just wore me out. And in fact, I remember one Monday morning walking into the courthouse through the metal detector, seeing a sheriff there at the metal detector. His name was Dave. And I said, "Hey, Dave, how you doing today?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, one day closer to the weekend." It was Monday. We were both on a Monday. And that's the way it was for me for many years. And I would just live, like count the days till Friday and the weekend. Now I get to Fridays and I'm actually a little bit sad. And that's not hyperbole either. I'm actually a little sad because I am privileged to serve so many amazing people in this work that I get to do. Imagine what it might be like for you to wake up every single day, even on Monday morning, excited about what you get to do. Imagine not being subject to the whims of managing partners, managing directors, bosses. Imagine not being subjected to commutes and hermetically sealed offices and back to work and remote work, but having control of your life, getting to create a business around your background and experience in the way you want to create it, in a way that makes you happy, in a time and location that makes you happy, taking back control of your life so that you have time freedom and location freedom and financial freedom. And really, that's what it's all about, is creating that sense of freedom for yourself and for your family that allows you to live that amazing life. And so that more that you may be wanting, that you may be thinking about, that you may be ideating about, really is waiting for you. And it's rather nearer than near, I would suggest. So if you're curious about any of this, I have popped a button over there on the right-hand side. And if you go over there on the right-hand side and you click that button, you will find, it will take you to a form. And the form has a bunch of fields like your name and your email, might ask for your phone number. might ask for a LinkedIn profile. I don't know, some really basic information. And what will happen is if you fill that out and submit it, or somebody from my team will reach out to you and we'll set up a discovery call. This is not going to be a sales pitch. I am not going to sell you. I hope you have an idea already that I'm not about hardcore sales. You will succeed. We succeed as a company only if you succeed, and we succeed with you only if you're the right fit. We'll talk about whether that's true or not. We'll talk about your idea, whether it's viable or not. We'll talk about what is possible on your own. We'll talk about your time frame, your circumstances, your hopes and dreams and aspirations. Most of all, I want to support you if you're feeling this call to, there's something more I want to do. So if you go over there on the right-hand side, you will find that button. At least on my screen, it's a green button. You'll push that button. It'll take you to that form, go through the form, hit submit. Somebody from the team will call you. If you're listening to the replay, friends, the button probably will be down below the screen, and it probably will be blue. But right now, it's a green button on the right-hand side of your screen. Friends, if you've been with us today, if you're still here, the likelihood is we ought to have a call, because that more is calling for you. That different is calling for you. And what I know is if it's calling for you, it's real. It's not imagined. Many people don't feel that. If you're here, you're feeling that. And I would love to have the opportunity to spend that time with you. So, in any event, I hope this has been valuable for you. I so appreciate the opportunity to spend that time with you, to spend this time with you. Make it a great rest of the day, a great rest of the week. Go out and create that work and the life you love while there's time. Take good care. Bye for now.